So this is our website, bigdatahandson.com. So myself, I am Khalil Ahmad. I'm managing the institute, and Irfan is the mentor here. So like you can see that whatever videos which are here, Irfan.
Yes.
Um, like I will share my screen. You can close it. Won't start screen while other participants are in. You can close the screen sharing, Irfan. I will share my screen.
Okay.
Okay, I will share my screen to introduction. After that, you can share it. Okay. So I hope you are able to see my screen. So let me go to bigdatahandson.com. So this is our market. That is this is our website. So whatever videos you want, like you can see it from here. So like you can just click on this. It's all free videos. We upload it in this place. Um, um, meetup uploads, meetup videos. So you can click on meetup videos, and here, so this is the place. So you can see that so this is the place um, which we put the videos. So if you are clicking that, you can be able to see the videos. So today's session is also recorded. So almost all the videos, you will see it here. Like if you are just clicking on this one, you can see lots of videos. So you can also, it's all related to big data science, machine learning, deep learning, Python. So all these languages, we would be teaching here. So you can see that. So today is part 1 of the session which we are going to start, and we'll go until part 7. Part 7 would be little bit of Django, Python Django concepts would be covered. I guess, right, Irfan? The last session would be Django part, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So the last session would be Django part. All other sessions would be in Python. So this is the basic thing which we are going to see in Python. So here, I guess, this Python, we are going to see the basic. Today would be an introduction to Python, and this is the contents which we are going to see. So the agenda of this is like introduction to Python on introduction. So second is the conditional statement. So you can see it from here. It's like conditional statements. We'll go with looping, and we'll go with control statements, and we will go with functions, and so like this is an introduction we would want to give. On day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, the same time will be there. It will be between Monday to Friday. So Thursday, it will not. The sessions will not be available on Saturdays and Sundays. So one session would be in English, and other session would be in Tamil. So the Tamil timings would be between 9 to 10 a.m. and English timings would be between 7 to 8 a.m. Tamil timing, today we have Tamil, but tomorrow I don't know whether we'll be having Tamil or not. But English session 100% will be confirmed. It would start by 7 o'clock and it would end by 8 o'clock. So followed with this, we'll go with also machine learning, and also deep learning sessions would be covered subsequently in our sessions. Thank you. So now Irfan, are you there?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you stop your sharing?
Yes. So let me
I will
just,
share my screen.
yes, I will just stop my sharing, and hope I have stopped the sharing. So Irfan, you can
Yes,
continue the
yes.
section.
Okay. Today we are going to see introduction to Python. Introduction to Python will cover like what, why, and like WH questions. What is Python? So Python is a high level and high level language. So you can high level language means that you can read in English, like in some English words we use in high level languages. And another one is object oriented. Python is an object oriented programming language and programming and scripting language. Why scripting? Because it using dynamic typing. So it also called scripting language. Dynamic typing means in other languages you can say like specifying the data type of variable. In dynamic typing, we don't specify the data type of variable. So in Python, we don't specify the data type. And the next is who created the Python. He is the creator of Python. His name is Guido Androsson, and he is worked for Centrum Wisconsin and Informatica. Now he is a member of Python Steering Council. And the Python name came from British comedy series. It's not a snake name. Okay. And why he named as Python? He's a big fan of Monty Python's Flying Circus. And why we need to learn Python? Okay. Python is a portable and platform independent language. Platform independent language means we can run Python in different OSs like Windows, Linux, and OS X, and extra. And ease of learning, you can learn Python easily. So there is ease of learning and ease of coding. Few lines of code is enough to write in Python. So ease of coding, and it has more libraries on in Python, and fastest growing language because the advance of machine learning, deep learning, and artificial intelligence, they write a program in a small amount of program they need to write because they need to concentrate on concepts. They know they doesn't concentrate on programming, so they choose simple program. So that's Python. So now they are choosing Python for machine learning, deep learning, and artificial intelligence. That's a fastest growing language. You see, Python is came 1991. So there in Python there now in MLDL they are using Python. That is fastest growing language now. And where Python is used, Python is used in Google. Some Google apps is created by Python itself and used of Python. In YouTube streaming, no, we can use Python. We use Python, so it streams fastly it can stream. And Yahoo, it is used Python, and NASA is using for security purpose in Python, and Reddit is made by Python. So uh, you know Django, you can make your website also. So Reddit made by like that. And working of Python, so Python works like this. Like we need to write a Python source code, and after writing the source code we need a compiler. So compiler will convert that high level language to bytecode or something low level language. Compiler is like a translator, one language to another language it will convert. So Python compiler is written in C language. So first it will convert to bytecode. like .pyc. That .pyc will interpreted on a Python virtual machine and it will convert it into machine code. Why so complex is because when a compiler compiled and created PyC file, after creating the PyC file, it will run in the virtual machine mode. Okay, so you can it is a platform independent. We can compile once and run on multiple OSs. That's why it is so complex. It is using compiler and interpreter. So we are calling Python as a programming or a scripting language. So compiler and interpreter are all same, but some difference in interpreter. So interpreter will run one by one, like one by one line it will run. First line it will run. After that another line it will run. So that like it will work. Okay, and running of Python. So how we can run Python in our machine? Okay, we can run Python in five ways. One is interactive shell, we will see that, and another one is script. Script is like a Python file .py file, so it's like a Python file script. And another one is IDE. We will use IDE called Spider. In this tutorial also we will see that Spider using, and IPython, Jupyter or Google Drive, and website also you can run. So first we will see interactive shell. Before that, we need a compiler for Python. Okay, we are writing high level language, so we need to convert that into machine code. So we need a compiler for that. How we can get the compiler? Just go to the python.org, and in that we can see downloads and all the OSs. Can select whatever OS works and download and install it. After installing that, you can just run it from type ideally. It will came like it is coming Python 3.6 64-bit. It is two version of that, like 64-bit or 32-bit. Your system requirements you can download it. Let's see started. So interactive shell will look like this. Like it is waiting for command. This interactive shell you can use for a calculator, like a calculator. 2 plus 3 like it is giving me 5. Okay. 10 minus 5 is giving me 5. So we can use interactive shell as a calculator also. Just we can run Python code also, like print, in print, we give hello world. So it is giving me the hello world output. If you see this, interactive shell will run only one line only. So it is running one line. After that, it is giving me result, and another time it is waiting for a response. And if I give anything, it will also print. So it is running one line once it will run one time. Okay, and another one is scripter. So for script, we need to create a Python file. Okay, to create a Python file is very easy. Just go to the file or new file, and we can choose Control plus N. It will create a new file, and just let's save it. It defaultly it will save in an extension as .py. So in here script, we can run multiple lines at once. That's the use of script. Okay, this time typing print. Print is a output statement in Python. save it, and for running you can choose run module, and it is running hello world. If I run 2 lines of code, it will run at once. So it is giving me the two outputs at once. It's not like this, the world and another time 445. It's running all the lines at once. Okay. So now we are seeing like output statement is a print, is a function. Python is print is a function. So function is a like a set of codes written in Python. So the developers write the codes. We can just use it from our Python code. Now we shall see data types. All the data has a type. So say my age is a numerical value. So that is a type. And my name is a set of characters. So that is a type. And let's say percentage. So percentage is a type of floating point numbers. So that's a decimal, let's say. And every data type in programming language that has a name. Okay? In numerical values, we have a name called integer. In programming language, that is called integer. So for characters, we have a data type for string. String is a set of characters. Okay? And another one is float. Float is for decimal point numbers. Float. And we have another fourth type that is in computer we use only binary. So you know binary, I think, ones and zeros. So in ones and zeros, that is called Boolean type. Okay, true or false. So ones and zeros, one is true and zero is false. So that is called in programming language, that is called Boolean type. Okay, that is the four type of data types. You can see that in quotes, in under quotes, if you give any value, that is a string. It's not only characters, it can contain integers, that is also a string. Inside the quotes, everything that is a string in Python. Inside of quotes, everything that is a string. Okay, so enter, that is giving me a string. And next type, like 45, that is a type of integer. You can see a type of value by using type function. If you want to get the type of the value, you can use type function. If I say 45, it will give me a class int, so it belongs to integer. And another one, so it belongs to str nothing but a string, okay. And another 5.5, so it is a type of floating point numbers. And another one, the last one, if I say true is a Boolean value, so it will give me a class bool. It belongs to Boolean class. Okay, the four type of values. If I try to add integer plus string, will learn no. So this is another type, this is another type. Okay, if I add two strings, that will work. It's because the two type is same. So it is adding those integers, which is this is called string concatenation. Okay, and we can also add integer with floating numbers. So it is giving me 50.5. Okay. Now I hope you have clear four types of data types. Four types: integer, string, float, and boolean. Okay, we have the values. Now I'm going to add those values. 45 plus 5. Sure, it will give me like 90. Okay, the values are there, but I need to store the value somewhere. When the storing the values, the concept called variables. The variables are the containers which will store the value. You can have any type value it can store. So variables is like nothing, like a container. So I will draw that. So it's like a container. It has some name. Okay. So it has a name. Example, val. It is a name for the variable. It is a variable, and the name of the variable, that is val. So I'm storing the value. Let's say 45. I'm storing the value 45. When I say, when I call the val, it will give me the value. What is the value here? The 45. For creating a variable, you can just use variable name. Like example, I take val and equal to. Equal to is a assignment operator. It will assign whatever value we give, that will assign to the variable. So it is assigned. When I call val, it will give me the value for 45. So the variable value is 45. If you see inside of the program, that is calling a like memory address. Every variable has a memory address. Like we have our address. You can see me when you come in my address. Like that, if you call the variable, it will go to the address. The address will like this. Okay, so it will go to the address and it will fetch the value from that. Okay, the variable names is a like we can't start variable name with integer. Okay, like can start like this. It will give me an error. So that is syntax error. The starting of the variable name should be a character, anything, and after the character we can have integers. Okay, after the character we can have, that will run, that will work, it will work. Okay, and the variable should not contain special characters like this. Can't contain special characters, but it can start from underscore. That is valid in Python. Okay, that is valid. Underscore w is valid, but star w hash w is not valid in Python. Okay, it just I'm assigning a variable, just val1 equal to 30 and val2 equal to 50. So I can add those variables. Yes, I can add those variables. So val1 plus val2 will give me 80. See? So it is giving me 80. So that is adding those values. If I called val1, it will give me the value 30. And if I called val2, it will give me value 50. So 30 plus 50, that will give me result 80. Okay. Can store multiple values. Like name equal to, let's say my name. So it can store the name also. And one more thing, print can print multiple values. By using comma separator, you can give multiple values. It will print. So now it is printing this value after addition. After addition, it will print, and one more, it will printing my name. Okay, like it is printing 80, and after that, it is printing my name. We can pass multiple values also in Python, like comma separator. Okay, that is the concept of variables, and we shall move on to the operators. But before that, we used script, we used the interactive shell, and now we will move on to the IDE. Okay? For IDE, I am going to use Spider for this session, for this tutorial on this. So I type Spider. You can get the Spider by downloading Anaconda. Anaconda is Anaconda comes a package. As a package, it will install Spider, Jupyter. Jupyter, I said like that is an IPython. So IPython, that is Jupyter. It comes in under the package, and it can have R distribution also. It is basically the Anaconda is used for data science. So it is containing the all the packages needed like pandas, NumPy, SciPy. These are the Python libraries the Anaconda have. Like Matplotlib is a plotting library. Like that. You can download in Prime. This download. So its size is very big problem in Anaconda. If you install that, it will come like 1 GB of storage. But it can use for all data science purpose. You can use all the modules are pre-built in Anaconda. For that purpose only we use Anaconda. Or if you need to develop something, you can use PyCharm. PyCharm is the best one for developing purpose. If you want to develop Python, so you can, if you want to develop like web development, in Python we can develop websites, applications, and softwares. Like we can develop. For PyCharm, you can get it from JetBrains.com. JetBrains PyCharm. We can get from the site. So it is a damn good one. Okay, PyCharm is one of the best IDE for Python. Now it's supporting also the data science also. You can connect PyCharm with Anaconda, and you can do whatever you want. Spider is not start. So PyCharm comes two different distributions. One is professional and another one is community edition. Professional games paid. So this comes under paid. But community edition is free open source. This comes under professional comes under paid. Why it is not starting? Let's start this. Yes, started. Python we have so many options. You can have so many developers there. They, they can help you, and so many articles are written in Python. There you can read and can get some projects there. If you do some projects only, you can achieve the Python. When you practice Python, it becomes very easy for you. Okay? Getting late. Oh my God. Yes, started. So this is how the ideally looks like. So ideally is nothing but a integrated development environment. This contain like an editor and a console. All this in the one window. And one software you can write a program, run a program, and make some. That's why we use integrated development environment. So let's save this file. Now we shall see operators. Operators is the like it will work two values and it will give you the result. first one is arithmetical operator that we see like addition, subtraction, and another one is assignment operator. And the third one is comparison operator. And the fourth one is arithmetical, assignment, comparison, and logical operator. And the last one is conditional operator. So first we see arithmetical operators. Let's take an example, val1 and val2. Arithmetical operator like addition, subtraction, division, multiplication. All these things are additional arithmetical operator. Like val1 plus val2, addition, and val1 minus val2, subtraction, val1 star val2. That is multiplication. For multiplication we use star. And for division we use slash for division. And another we have like if you want to find modulus of that, you can use percentile. It gives you modulus of division. Save and run this. For running you can choose this. Will run. So the result will come here in this console. So like here you can see addition, subtraction, division, multiplication for that. These are all arithmetical operators. And another one assignment operator. If you want to increment this value, like val1 equal to val1 plus 50. So I am incrementing the value. Like val1 is 50. So 50 plus 50 becomes 100. So now val1 becomes 100. For running the selected lines, you can select this line and shift enter. It will run only those two lines. Okay, and that is incremented 50. For this, what they do, they will remove this and they put the plus before the equal. That will become an assignment operator. So plus equal to is an assignment operator. It's more or like this one. For commenting, we can use hash that will comment for val1 equal to val1 plus 50. So this is equal to this. That we use assignment operator. Like that, it will give a same result 100. And we have plus equal to like val1 val1 minus equal to val1 multiplication equal to star equal to and val1 divide equal to and val1 modulus equal. Let's select this one. So after this all assignments, the result is 2.0. Okay. These are the assignment operators. Plus equal to, minus equal to, star equal to, divide equal to. modulus equal to. And another one is comparison operator. If you want to compare two values like 50 and 100, there we used comparison operator. Like we can check whether 50 is greater than 100 or 50 is less than 100. That is a comparison operator. Say I am printing, printer val1 is greater than val2. Like it checking val1 is greater than val2. It will give you a result in Boolean format. So Boolean is like true or false. Okay. If I run this, it will give me false. It's because 50 is not greater than 100. If I become less than, it will give me true. So it is giving me true. It's because 50 is less than 100. And we have another like greater than. Greater than we work for like the greater than value. So you can run this two lines, true or false, true and false. It is giving me a result as true and false. And we have another operator like less than or equal to. Less than or equal to will check whether the number is less than or that is equal. If I change it to 50, this line will give me true only because 50 is equal to 50. So if you see here, that is giving me true because the val1 also 50 and val2 also 50. So it is checking like val1 less than equal to val2. So it is not less than, but it is equal to the val2. Okay, and like that only we have another greater than equal to. And the last one we have equal to equal to. Equal to equal to will check like 50 is equal to 50. So it is given true, making that as 60. Run it again. But it is giving false. 50 is equal to 50. That's right. Let's run this one. So now it is giving me true. Okay. So why is because it's giving me false? Because in this we are changing the val1's value by assigning and multiplication like that. So it is changing the value. So the val1 will change. That's only we not get true. Okay. Now if I run these two lines, so val1 equal to 50 and val2 equal to 50. If I print val1 equal to val2, so it is giving me true because 50 is equal to 50. And comparison operator and the logical operator. Logical operator are like and or not, and we'll check whether the two inputs are true, then it will give you true. That is and yet that will give you true. Copy. If I put that false, that will become false. If I put false here also, it will become false. If I change it to false, two inputs are false, then also that is false. So this is the AND gate operators. It's like say or checks whether the two inputs, in the two inputs, any one of that input are true, it will give you true. This also will give you true because one input is true here. Here one input is true, so it will give you true only. And here also one input is true, that will, result will give you true only. And this will always false. Okay, and not takes one input only, not true, it becomes false. Not false, it becomes true. Not false will become true. It's the not gate and or and change it or. So it's the and two three gates and or not. How we can use print val one less than val. So like logical operator will only work on the Boolean operators. The comparison operator also will give you a result as Boolean type. So we can use comparison in logical operator. Greater than. Let's check. Yeah, the shift. So that is giving me false. Why? Because val1 less than val2. Note that if we make val1 equal to 50, val2 equal to 100. And one more thing, here I'm assigning the value val1 equal to 50, val2 equal to 50, and after that also I can assign a value for the variable. So that is why it's called a variable. Can vary in the program. So wherever you can change the value of a variable. So before that is 50, now I can change also 100. So it is false. Why? Is because 50 is less than 100. It will become true, and 50 is greater than 100, so it will become false. True and false, that is false. If I make it as or, it will give you true I. If I make it as or, it will give me true. Okay, and for not, which is true, not true, that is false. Not true, that is false. So the result is false. The last one. So these are about logical operators. And the last one, conditional operator. Conditional operator is same like if the condition is true, then do something. That's like, or else we can do anything. For conditional operator, we will assign a variable, say var, and here we need to give the syntax. First, we will see the syntax of conditional operator. On to if conditions else on false. On true and on false is what you are going to do. If true, what you are going to do, here we can write, and on false, what you are going to do. In this condition, we can have like comparison operator or logical operator. It's because comparison and logical operator will give you a result as true or false. Okay, let's say an example: order, finding odd or even. Even when when the condition, like I will assign a variable I is equal to 2, I am going to check whether the I is even or not. For checking I even, we can use modulus operator. So if I divide a even number with 2, let's make it as 6. If I divide 2 with 6, the modulus will be 0. That's what we are going to check. So if the modulus divided by 2, so I modulus 2 will give you 0 or 1. Okay, if that is 0, so that will become true. Okay, if that is true, the result is even. If that is false, the result is odd. I hope you understand. Okay, if I print var, so let's choose this, shift enter. So it is giving me true. So I is 6, that's giving me true. If I make it as 7, so it is giving me odd. It's an odd number. 6 is an even number. So that is a conditional operator. It's like, okay. Shall we move on or complete from this also? I think it eight also.
Yeah, we can go for 10 minutes. 10 minutes, Irfan,
Okay.
because we just gave a 10 minutes gap, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll just go with 10 minutes.
Sample. Like a conditional operator, we are going to see control statement. Control statement is like a conditional operator only. For true, what you are going to do. On false, what you are going to do. But in the conditional operator, you see that, I will open that. See, in here conditional operator, we only do one thing only. So printing the even or odd. So in conditional operator, it's like a terrain operator. In other language, they are said like a terrain operator, I think. So it can do only one thing only. So conditional operator or even or code. If you want to do multiple things, you can use control statement. Control statement is like multiple lines of conditional operator. Conditional operator comes single line, but control statements like if or else, it will come multiple lines. If condition, and we need to put a column there. Why is because defining a block, that is a if block. Okay, if I hit enter, that will move to the 4 space. Okay, in other languages they used curly brackets for defining block, but in Python we use colon and white space to uh, define a block. Now it becomes a if block. In here we can do whatever we want. Okay, multiple lines we can run. I'm going to do the same example here. Let's say I equal to 2, I equal to 6, 5. In the same condition, I modulus 2 equal to 0, and If that true, it will give me event. And we need to give a else block. Okay, else block will print a code. There is a multiple lines of conditional operators. We can wrote multiple lines in one block. This block we can write multiple lines. That is why, because we use control statements. Okay, if I run, save and run this, it's giving me odd only. So 5 is odd number, so it is giving me odd. It is checking whether the condition is true or false. If that true, this block will execute. If that false, then it will come to the else block. We can also write without else block also. So I say 5, I'm going to change condition for I equal to 5. When I equal to 5, print 5. So we can have only one if block also. Okay. If that is false, then it will come to the else block. In that else block also we can have conditions. Like if I equal to 4, we can whatever like print 4. This is like nested if. So nested if. So this condition false become false, it will come to the else. It will check another condition. So if that is true, it will print this. And we can also have else for this if. What they did in Python, they just remove this and becomes an elif. So this is an elif. If that condition false, that will come to the elif, and if the elif will check the condition, another condition. So after that we can log will come here. So indentation is very important. Indentation means like spacing. 4 space we need to give. Defaultly that is 4 space. So if I run this, so it will give me 5. So I make it as 4. It will give 4. So it's not 5. So it is checking whether that is 4. If that is 4, that will give me 4. And one more thing, we can have multiple elif blocks also. Like say I'm going to check 3, 3. So we can have multiple elif blocks. We can have without else block also. Okay, but the else block will come only the last one. Okay, will not come into the inside this. We can't write else block. Okay, the else block will only come in the last one. So we can have multiple elif blocks here. We only have only one if block only. We can have multiple elif block also. Okay, it is if else elif control statement. Okay. For this, we will see one more example here. Let's say I have marks here. Mark 1 equal to the student mark 1 equal to 40, mark 2 equal to 60, mark 2. mark 3 is equal to, let's say, 70. I have this marks, let's say 3 marks, and I need to get the average, and I need to separate with the ranks, okay? A, B, C, like that. So before that, we need to check the, we need to get the average. For average, what we do basically, so let's create a bracket because it will calculate whatever in that bracket. After that, it will move on. See, mark 1 plus mark 2 plus mark 3. First, it will calculate this, so it will become and after the addition,
Irfan, it's time up, so we shall end with this program, okay?
okay, yeah,
Okay, yeah, you can continue.
okay. So after the addition, we need to divide it with 3 to, to get the average. By using the average, we can split it out ranks. If the average is greater than 90 and A which is less than 100, so they will become rank 1, okay, say A. And another condition we put in elif, if the average is greater than 80 and average less than 90, that is rank B. And another condition, if average greater than 70 and average less than 80, that is C. And another condition, average greater than 60 and average print D. And the last line, average greater than 50 and average less than 60, except in E, otherwise print fail. Then let's print this average for ensuring you're right or wrong. So the average is 56 point digits. So that is in between. So it's wrong, I think. Oh, sorry. Make it as less than. Should be greater than. Okay? So 56. It's between 50 and 60. That is rank A. If I make this 80, so 70 is fail. Oh my god. Some error right there. Let's run one more time. No, where we missed it. 70 is correct, but it is giving me fail. Why? This is correct, but for that is wrong. Okay, what I did here, So that should be equal to, because when it comes 70, it's not accepting the 70. If I put equal to, that will take the 70 also. Okay, so we can put equal to take 70 and 50, all the things. Okay, if I make this 80, that should work. So that is working. Print C. Okay, I hope you understand this. We shall end this session.
Yes, thank you, Irfan. So let me share my screen so you can unshare the screen.
Okay.
So hi guys, so whatever video the today's session which you have seen, everything will be available in our website, at bigdatahandson.com. So you can just log into our website and you can just see these see the videos. So videos no like it will be here inside this meetup uploads, no, like if you click on meetup videos, you can see all these videos here. So you can see one by one. So these are all the old sessions which has been took on those dates. So this session, no, we will also post it in these things. So if you want to call my thing, you can just go to my site and you can just call my phone. That is any doubts, you can just give us a call, or you can just WhatsApp this number. The WhatsApp number is this is my number 978. So you can see that this is my number 978 988 or you can just query your chat ads, no, we will able to resolve it. Or else, no, when we upload our video, you can subscribe to our channel, which is bigdatahandson.com. So you can go to YouTube channel and you can subscribe the channel, so you can get the videos then and there. So you can see here, like you can go to YouTube videos, or like YouTube, like you can subscribe to the channel Big Data Hands On, so you can see lots of videos there. Big Data Hands On. So this is our channel. So you can just click on subscribe and you can just click on the bell icon. So you can get whatever videos, no, daily posted videos, you can see that. So these are all the things which has been posted earlier. So so the session, no, we'll just continue in our next tomorrow's session, no, again we will be starting exactly by 7 o'clock and we shall end the session exactly by 8 or 8:10 maximum. Thank you all, thank you for joining, thank you.